YouTube and Twitch. I did it really quickly that time. Winds of War has dropped. If you didn't know, by the way, this is a VOD. If you clicked on this stream, I'm gonna be prepping for my settings guide in this VOD. I'm probably gonna stream for, I don't know, maybe like an hour or something. I'm gonna be collecting just some screenshots and just kind of finalizing my opinions on the whole thing. And then basically, I'm gonna be in a mad rush to get the settings guide out. Probably I'm gonna be streaming till maybe lunchtime, maybe like noon my time, so about an hour and a half from now. Just finalizing some stuff. I'll grab something to eat, and then we're gonna be locked in, hoping to have that settings guide posted by, hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed by the end of the day. I'm trying to just keep an ear open, and that's why I'm streaming before I actually like just work on the video, because I wanted to see if anybody had any things I should hear about, or stuff like that. So I'm just sort of chilling for now, and then if if anybody comes in, has anything that I need to know, then I'll know. So that should be good. I gotta do the usual stuff. I gotta post my stuff in the Discord and all that stuff. So let me do that real quick. Basically, I'm planning to sort of make this video kind of like my Tarkov settings guide, where some of the stuff I showcase in game and some of the stuff I showcase using Nvidia's iCat tool, so I can like do comparison screenshots between the two. So I think it'll work pretty well. I've been digging through a lot of Unreal Engine documentation. I've been looking at the base scalability INI file from the Unreal Engine 5 source code, and all that. So I've been trying to understand a lot more about what's going on than I did in the last video that I made on the launch of Grey Zone Warfare. So I'm gonna try. Bro must have misclicked. It's not 9:30 p.m. on the only day I can get on. All right. How's the FPS? It's actually been pretty good. I'm gonna be honest. It's been, if you're comparing it to launch, it is way more stable than launch. Performance, I would say, is marginally improved, and there's more options for scalability's sake in the options. So let me ping the Discord really quick. Hold on one second. Live. Also, there's Twitch drops, by the way, for Grey Zone, so make sure you link up those accounts. If you need the link, let me know. I can try to find it. My microwave was more stable than launch twin. Okay, to be fair, on launch you had a 1660 with 6 gigs of RAM, or 6 gigs of VRAM. Okay, so now you're on a different GPU now, so you can't don't. Also, those GPUs actually kind of sort of work now, surprisingly. Not well, but they do. Live finalizing my settings guide video with drops on in Twitch, and let me know how the game's performing for you. Bam. Grab the link. What about compared to Night Ops? Bought the game but was not running well enough for me to enjoy it. What's your GPU? Give me your GPU and I'll give you or also just give me your CPU as well. I'll give you a rough estimate of how it'll do. I need my Twitch link. Hello. Okay. 3060 Ti. Oh. Ooh, well, the 16 gigs of RAM might hurt a little bit. But yeah, you could. What is that, the 3060 Ti 8 gig? Oh, it is 8 gig, I think. Isn't the 3060 Ti 8 gig? I got a new system last weekend. Will you be doing Sunday Sherpa this Sunday? Ooh. That actually... Oh, well, that might be heat with this update. I don't know. Maybe. Stay tuned. I'm going to be streaming for drops for Grey Zone. So if I do that, it would have to be with Grey Zone. Like, I can't... Well, I could obviously like, talk about Tarkov settings, but like I couldn't Like, just like swap it, you know. Yeah, and a hard drive. NASA shit. Yeah. All right. I think you got a shot though, Borger. I think you got a shot. Okay. I'm gonna launch this up, and I have this open too, just for me to reference if I need to like search for anything. This is just the base scalability options for Unreal Engine 5, so it gives me sort of a idea of what I'm working with. I believe they've moved some stuff around from how it's set up here, because there's some things that aren't lining up exactly to me, but generally it's given me much more of an idea of like what's going on. So I'm gonna leave this open just in case I need to search for anything, or if you have any questions I can always ask, or I can always tell you something there too. Okay, also, is the sound working? Hold on, that's working, sorry. All right, character reset. Okay, also, right before I do anything else, the second I get in the game, I need to let y'all know, if you're watching this in the VOD or whatever, I'll mention this in the settings guide too, but I need to also mention it here. When you boot up the game for the first time, it is going to be compiling shaders, and as you can see, my CPU is, you know, full throttle right now for compiling shaders. So yes, it's going to look like, especially if you have like a high-end Intel CPU, you're probably going to be shitting the bed, think it's thermal throttling. Relax, let it compile the shaders. Once that's done, then get in the game. Typically only takes, especially if you're on a high-end CPU or like mid to high-end CPU, it doesn't take more than like 5-10 minutes max. So don't stress. Just let it do its thing and it'll work itself out. You can see, oh wait, it's already done. It's already done. Okay. When's the 2K25 optimization video going out? You know, it should be coming soon, and I think the first thing that I'll mention is to make sure it's not installed on a hard drive. You know, it's probably one of the most important things. What is this? What the fuck is that haircut? Oh hell no. I kind of like the slick back. I'm not gonna lie, that might be crazy. I'm kind of rocking with that. And then I'm gonna customize these when I get in game, because I got more stuff for that. Crimson's got the sign up bonus? What? That's kind of crazy. Really? So basically they added a thing where the lowest population faction gets the sign up bonus? That's kind of insane. Oh man. Now I'm debating if I want to go Crimson. Ooh, is it time for Crimson? I've never gone Crimson. It might be time for Crimson. It's giving, I kind of don't fuck with Crimson on the low. Cause you basically have founded and funded by a tech billionaire, okay? Philanthropic organization. You have, I don't know. I don't even know Mithras. Like Mithras is just kind of mid-city. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, you have Amazon. You have minimal inquiries into an operator's motivations or past history. That could also count as Amazon when they're hiring employees, maybe. I don't. Yeah, I think it's Crimson time, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's Crimson time. Change of pace. Let's do it. I'm on board. Okay. Oh, I got the little... Yeah, I got the little Twitch thing. Okay. Alright. So now what I need to do... Oh. Oh, shit. Spoilers, y'all. Fuck. Okay, so this is what I was probably going to run with as my recommended. I was thinking... Okay, wait. I gotta go back to my baseline. Hold on. Okay. Alright. I wanted to... Oh, I don't have the right pants on yet. To showcase... Well, let's showcase the texture difference. Hold on. Not as much as I want. Okay. Well, let's just get in. And then... Is it storming? Oh, shit. Push drop awards. Okay, I got the extra 5K. Change my clothes now. Will getting more RAM give me better FPS if I'm only on 16, or at least help with some stutters? It'll help with some stutters for sure. I mean, like, cause I would argue like 16 gigabytes now is sort of like a bare minimum. Like, if you're not running anything in the background, stuff like that, then generally you're probably okay. But like, I would... Oh shit. Is this like a new server? No, nothing's captured. Am I like... Oh yeah, my only teammates are in here. Must be... This is kind of like hit game 7 days to die. Real. This is the new update, bro. Oh, the ambience. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's right. The clothes. Apparel. I don't have my favorite gloves. Or were no, these were my gloves. Okay. I don't like these personally. I like those gloves. These pants. When they said thunderstorm, they meant that shit. Constant thunder. This isn't even the worst that I can get, dude. You should see... I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but... There's like... nighttime, the thunder like actually counts as like a dynamic light source. So like it'll just like light up from like the area roughly where it was. I'm like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Kind of insane. Okay. So now I need to end deployment here though. The lightning, yes, the light. Did you know it's actually lightning, not thunder? For your information. All right. Oh, it's actually okay. So here's what we got to get to it here because I gotta gather some of these screenshots. Wild, what's up, man? All right, so what I did... Oh, shoot. I don't know if the... I gotta find where the... I have screenshots here? Okay. Go to the file. I forgot where do you... There we go. Okay. Alright, and now... Oh, no. So, hold on, let me not leak everything that I have in here, all of my all my very sensitive information. I gotta find where this was stored. Where do they store? I took some screenshots in the playtest. Oh wait, here we go. Hold up. Ah. Hey, Ghost, what's up? Also, Wild, I don't know if I said hi. Good to see you. Okay. I'm gonna take this. Oh, accept that one. Hello. Oh my god. I'm ruining everything. Everything's ruined. Okay, take this. Go back to this. I'm gathering the screenshots right now. Okay. So, what we're gonna have to do is I just want to get some quality screenshots. It's not gonna be for every setting, because some settings are better showcased in game. But also, I should probably move these into a temporary folder so I don't have to constantly see all of these. Leave those there for now. Okay, so let me put this. Just put that at the end of the screenshot chain here. That way I don't have to worry about it. So what we're gonna do is try to capture as many as I can here. Texture resolution is kind of hard to showcase because it's mostly about texture streaming, and not necessarily about downgrading pure texture quality, even though MIP bias does sort of do that. You can see here. So I'll probably capture this. Let me do that real quick. And then I number them so I know the order when I put them to iCat very easily. That's F2. All right, wrong button. 2 texture, medium. And I would argue that high textures is probably the sweet spot for even like high-end hardware. Though if you want to be greedy, you can go to Epic. Seems like it just has a more aggressive. I should actually check the base scalability, honestly, and see what it says in there. They might be doing something similar. For texture Epic, and these are going to be. This is the easiest way for me to get like for like, because when you do this in game, it sometimes doesn't show as easily the difference. So I'm just taking these from the main menu here. I just pretend Epic doesn't exist. Honestly, that's not a terrible idea. That is not a terrible idea. Now, one thing, actually, before we move on, hold on. Let me go to... See, so here's what I'm talking about right here. If they are using like MIP bias, which it looks like they're using MIP bias. You can see MIP bias is set to 0 for the high, which is 2 here, and epic, which is 3. They also have a cinematic option in Unreal Engine that you can like optionally toggle that they don't have, it seems. Or if they do, they're sort of like mixing and matching. I can't find their scalability options. And I don't think you can access their scalability options just like in a packaged game without some forgot the word. So insert verb here. But you can see here that the MIP bias is the same for high and epic, but this is the highest MIP bias, which is 0. So these textures at the closest are going to look the same. Whereas, you know, if you go to say medium, that's where you actually see the degradation really up close. Is between medium and high there. You can see that. I would argue epic is a little bit sharper, but that may have to do with the anisotropy options here. Also, the pool size is slightly increased, so you know. And also, they don't limit the pool size to VRAM, it looks like, on Epic. So the pool size is actually, if they didn't set this here, I think, then this would be unlimited. I believe that's how that works. I've literally spent like days trying to learn about some of this stuff. It's been kind of difficult, honestly. It's been really confusing. I felt very out of place, but it's good. It's challenging. I like it. Mad Dog, thank you for the follow on Twitch, by the way.
EFT is not a fun game.
Can you speak English or no? All right. Thank you for the prime, Mad Dog. Thank you. Appreciate that, dude. Hope you're having a good one. I almost ran the scalability options. That would have been awesome. Can you, yeah, speak English? All right. I would probably go with this though. Seems like that's the play. There's not really a noticeable FPS difference in between the two because it's basically for the textures. So it's basically only impacting VRAM, and also since it's using MIP streaming, a bit of CPU impact is there, but not between these two settings, just in general for the streaming. So yeah, so that we got those. What should I get next? Global Illumination might be a good thing to do. I might get some screenshots from the main menu and from the game. So let's grab those really quick. I mean, look at the low now. I mean, like, that is like, it's like, I don't know. Kind of, you know, kind of controversial a little bit. I don't know. But I'm gonna grab these anyway. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Oh, that's the wrong window. Oh, I forgot to move these. Texture. Oh wait, I copied it instead of cutting it. Okay. This is one GI low. This is 2 GI medium. Another thing I noticed too is that medium and high look very similar. And I'm trying to find the difference between the two, but I don't know, it's kind of hard. I was looking at like the base scalability options and I'm like, typically medium is significantly different than high. So I have a feeling that these were sort of shuffled around a little bit. Epic's got a bit more shine. Do you see that a little bit? See what I'm talking about there? It's also a little bit darker. There's a lot more shadowing under some of the foliage and stuff, which, you know, maybe some people won't like. So I'll probably recommend high here as well. Seems like Wild's theory is working out pretty well. Grab this. Place those in there for now. They also added a new setting here, which is object quality. And it looks like how typically like object LOD quality was, except the devs I'm not joining the squad right now. The devs have that's one of my friends, by the way. It's not like a random person. The devs have made a commitment that they don't want to use the game or use the settings in a way that would hurt the gameplay or give people with lower settings an inherent advantage to the best of their ability. So object quality seems to be very twin, come kill some ARM militia with me, twin. Object quality is very like sparse. It looks like it was really hard when I was like walking around the early preview to find places where that was effective, because again, foliage quality is for foliage is all over the place. You can very quickly see like the different distances at which that's taking effect. That's very pronounced. I've already got the screenshots for that. And object quality, like I'll show in game, I'll go to the place that I was able to see it at. it's like decals on certain objects. That's not my IP, y'all. I just want to put that out there. Oh, and effects quality. Oh, effects quality. This is actually a really interesting one because this was really difficult for me to figure out at the start on launch. Oh wait, let's give hold on. Let's get rid of the easy ones first, because the easy ones I want to get rid of first. The reflection shading quality is also kind of difficult for me to see, but I'll explain that when we get there. Ooh, post-processing is another one too. Oh man, I gotta order what I'm talking about, or else I'm just gonna keep ranting this entire time. Let's get into the game at this point, because I think for most of these settings here, oh well, epic, oh, or effects quality, we can actually see a little bit of a difference here. Effects quality, let me get the screenshots for this in the menu too real quick. We'll probably also get some in game. But I want to first get these as well, because this is if you didn't know, by the way, the reason why I'm changing them here in the main menu, if you couldn't see, is that it does just apply them straight, without any like delay or restart. It's just kind of right there for most of the settings. For some settings, I think it's still good to restart, especially like texture quality. But this is a really easy way for me to see the difference and collect them in a timely manner, you know? Okay, so we're gonna grab these. All right. And then there is also a new variable rate shading option too. I do know a decent bit about this. I did some research on it. And I might actually, that's something I should collect in the main menu too, because if you don't know, you can think of variable rate shading like if you were taking upscaling, but using it just for the shading or rasterization lighting, basically. And that's it. Okay. So you can think of it like, for example, if we're like taking the light hitting this here, like this sandbag over here, you can think of it like, instead of it for every single pixel that it sees of that sandbag, assigning a individual lighting value for those pixels, it takes the center of whatever ratio of pixels you decide, or whatever grid. So like, for example, you could have like 2 by 2, right? And it'll take the center in between those 4 pixels in a square, and then it'll estimate what the values of the lighting is on those 4 pixels in that square based on that center point. Okay, so that's supposed to help in that part of the rendering process. The issue, they have this defaulted quality, and it looks fine at quality. Like, you can't really see a difference, but where I was able to see a difference was in performance. But I need to see, oh, was it raining this hard before? Wait, maybe I saw it, did I see it on low? There was a place where I could see the aliasing. There was increased aliasing issues on the edges of this. It'll probably be easier when I capture an iCat, so I'm gonna go to low global illumination here and just get the 4 different ones here for variable rate shading. 1 PRS off. 2 VRS quality. You may be wondering to yourself, Clem, why don't you just take the screenshots and then name them after you take all 4 of them? And the answer is, I will be stupid and I will forget what order I put them in, and then I will go and have to double check it, and then I will do them again. So I just kind of rule that out and then just take it one step at a time, you know? VRS performance. Yeah, I noticed some image stability issues when running with like variable rate shading on performance. And also too, I should mention as well, like if you're just like watching this VOD and listening to me yap too, is that variable rate shading was a very minor performance impact, or is, I should say, not was, because you know this is out right now. And I'm talking like you can see the FPS up here, and even I can get like cap frame X up, I think. There we go. Even from performance to off, like we're talking a couple FPS. Like we're talking like maybe 2 to 3%. It's little enough of a difference to where it's very hard for me to actually like measure it when I'm in game, right? So this is good for like lower end machines that really need like every leg up that they can get, right? But it's not like a godsend, right? So I just want to like point that out. It's a very minor performance uplift when you go down to like performance. Even it's like a 2 to 3%. So I'm assuming they maybe go to quality just for that slight leg up without any real noticeable impact. But yeah, there's not, just gonna ignore that. There's not really much of a difference. So I will probably, I don't know, I was debating sticking to quality, but I do really like having the image stability. Like you can see here, this sort of loses, these really thin like wires and stuff start to lose their thickness here when you turn on variable rate shading too. So I don't know, personally I really like the image stability, and the image stability is really important for me. So I will probably stick to having it off completely, but I can understand that there are cases where you may want to get every, you know, bit of performance you can. So I'll probably make like a couple different presets for people so that they can, you know, choose for themselves. Without further ado though, let's get actually into the game real quick to take some of these other screenshots, because I think that's going to be the main place where I'll be able to see the difference. Let me actually check. Yeah, that's not actually visible. Effects quality, that's what I was going to talk about. Effects quality actually controls a lot more stuff than I thought it did, because in the past I didn't look at the Unreal Engine source code, at like the base scalability file. It controls a lot of stuff. If I go over here, let me search for effects quality here. There is a lot of stuff in here that it controls. As you can see, like all this stuff is for different aspects of the atmosphere. You have the material quality here, which material quality is in Unreal material is the textures basically in part. So, but it's not only the textures, but sort of the details that layer onto it, like the glass here. Some of the detail and like dirt on the glass is a material that they add. I freaky in-game PM. Film it. Oh my god. But yeah, like a lot of the dirt and stuff you see on certain materials is from, or materials ironically, is from material quality. So it also controls stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen like how skin can sometimes glow in the sunlight, which is going to be kind of hard for me to get when there's no sunlight right now. But that's what this is subsurface scattering as well. So it controls that. It controls, what is this called? Oh my god, why can't I remember it off the top of my head? Something global illumination, not subsurface scattering. I have to look it up. Just looking at it. Screen space. There it is. So that's important as well, ironically. And then let's see. There's also some particle stuff. This is, I believe this stuff here is for the clouds and stuff for weather, along with this. There's a lot of stuff in here that they sort of don't really, like, it's kind of glossed over in the game settings. They don't say that. So I was gonna try and find some places where I could actually see that difference. Let me just check. Let me do this here. Oh, I gotta get rid of my gun. That works. No, it doesn't work. Cannot. Okay, that gets it out of the way. You know, that's fine. Okay. So I really like... Oh, wait. Actually, let's get off of effects quality for a second, because I want to quickly talk about shadow quality. Because in the past, shadow quality actually controlled some of this fog. And I saw that when I was looking at the base scalability here in shadow quality. When I went over here, there was a... Here it is, volumetric fog. And this only turned on when you went to high. Are there any noticeable performance differences between PvP and PvE? Not that I know of. If I had to guess, I would assume that PvP is performing slightly worse. But not that I know of, no. I would play PvP though, because of all the cop systems and stuff that are in the game now. But I believe that there's like cross progression, so if you play PvE or PvP, you can like choose, I think. I don't know if they're separate characters. I can't remember. But there's obviously volumetric fog here. What I notice now is that volumetric fog is not in the shadow quality. They've moved it to post-processing, so when I go below high post-processing, some of that shadowing goes away. Now, there was a place that really showed... Oh no, that's what it was. When it was at nighttime, the god rays from the moon went away. Did I get a screenshot of that? I don't know if I got a screenshot of that. Fuck. I didn't. That's okay. Hey, what's up, FR33? Welcome in. Oh, shit. Skywalker, thank you for the 5 gifted, man. Holy shit, thank you, dude. Jesus, I appreciate that. If you guys didn't know, there is support a streamer going on right now for Grey Zone Warfare, so you do also get some extra drops if you get 4 subs, I believe. I think that's it. They have more details on their site. But that's probably what Skywalker was doing. I really appreciate you choosing me for that. Thank you, man. What time is it? 19:14. Okay, I might be able to wait till nighttime for that. God, there's no shadow quality difference because the sun's not out right now. Or maybe I could see it here. This is gonna be brutal. Oh my god. No problem. Good luck. Thank you, man. Thank you. Oh yeah, object quality. Let me quickly show that off real quick. So this, this right up here, that, right there, is the only place where I was able to actually see it so far. So when I go to low, you're gonna see as I walk away from this wall, I think it's in just a second. Come on. It was right here, I think, I remember. There it goes. Yep, it was. So you can see the detail at the bottom goes away. Let's look, the shadowing goes way down there. Along with that. That little bit of detail. That's what I'm talking about when I say object quality. So let me actually see here too when I'm on Epic. Oh, all that shadowing stays there too. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay. Why are my servers all freaky? My best ping says Asia East. So you've been lying this whole time. I knew it. I knew it. No, that's weird. I don't know. It automatically put me in US East, I think. Oh. Well, you guys see that? That's the texture streaming in action right there for MIP bias. Let me see if it triggers again. I don't know if you guys saw, but as I walked towards that map on the wall, it got to better and better quality. You see that? Let me see if I can record it. There's probably something else I can do that with too. Ooh, I might be able to do it with this here. Hold on. Okay.
There's something out there, man. I'm telling you. Whatever happened here.
That might be helpful to showcase texture res a little bit. Because again, texture resolution is mostly about like how quickly these textures are streaming in, basically. And also the quality at which it's going to stream into. So, oh wait, this table. I forgot about this table. I think I use this to showcase shadow quality. What the fuck? What the? Where did that light come from? Is that a bug? That might be a bug. Okay. So let me go here. Yes, there we go. Wow. Look at that. See, now the low is, there's not even shadows for some of the smaller stuff. Wow, 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 wow. And see, wow. I mean, look at that. That's a hell of a difference there. In the past, I used to recommend medium because low was really grainy. And this, you know, gets rid of a little bit of the grain. Not the same amount as high does, but it saves you a little bit of performance and doesn't have it look super bad. But low is now even lower, and look at, I mean, look at the boost that you get with low. Oh. That's hard. That's rough. I don't know what to recommend there. I think if you were worried about how the game looks, you would probably go for medium. But otherwise, you'd go for low. It seems like for max, obviously for max performance. It's also the view distance as well, these shadows too, by the way. Don't know if I noticed that, or don't know if I said that. I mean, damn. Honestly, well, this is just a very small scene. I would need to test during the day to get a better picture of the swing here. But to me, I would probably run epic if you could, and otherwise go low. Because I mean, hold on. Also, I really love this fog. Let me just check too. Is that tied to? Oh, so that fog is tied to global illumination now. The God rays that I was seeing from some of the light sources were from the post-processing. Okay. I mean, yeah, look at low. Look at the difference. You know what I mean? Like that's an insane jump in the like visuals of the game. I don't know. It might be too aggressive, but it might also be what people need. So, I don't know. I don't know. Wait. Oh shit. Also, Madfinger Games is going live on Twitch in 10 minutes, it seems like. Okay. Oof. Hold on, I got an eyelash in my eye. Whee. Okay. So this is what I was running for most of the playtest. Hey, Spetsnaz, what's up? It's out, by the way. We're on the live build now. This is what I was running for most of the live build, but I think what I would recommend, if we're looking for a mix of visuals and performance. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. Will this show me? I mean, look at that. Oh, jeez, dude. Okay. I need a baseline. I need a baseline place to just showcase the difference here. My thinking is up here. Go to this sandbag. Also, I love you can put a Glock in your secure container. Why can't I? Why am I forced to hold it like this? Okay, whatever. Just do that, I guess. Okay. What settings should I go for with this system? 12900, 32 gigs of RAM, 3070 Ti, 1440. Okay. I got you, actually. So my recommended settings, I think, and this is what I'm going to go for, I think for now, if we're looking, again, if we're looking for a good mix in between visual fidelity and performance, this is what I would go for. This is not strictly for performance, okay? And I'll explain this in the settings guide. I would go for global illumination. I have it on my second monitor here. Let me actually, I took a screenshot. I think last night or the night before when I was testing. Global illumination would be at medium. Okay. Actually, let's get a baseline actually real quick before I start. I should get rid of heli. Go away. Bye-bye. Go away. Okay. 70-ish. Can you post in your Discord? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I also, Spetsnaz, I'll have the video up. Hopefully by the end of the day today, too. So I'm going to have like a couple different options, I would say, like depending on like the range of hardware I'm going for. Also, this VOD will be up on YouTube as well and on Twitch if you want to just like reference it again. Global illumination, so we're starting at like 71. I would say 70 to 72 FPS. Global illumination set to medium. Shadow quality set to medium. Object quality, I wasn't able to measure much performance impact here at all. Because it doesn't seem like it's affecting much, so I just took it down a notch to high. Texture resolution I would set to high. Effects quality I would set to medium. Reflections quality I would set to medium. Foliage quality I would set to high. Even though I like how Epic looks more. High, I'll net you just a little bit extra. I'm just trying to get the good mix, you know what I mean? And then shading quality, we'll talk about this in a second. But like, no matter where I was setting this, I wasn't able to find much of a difference here. Like, I can't measure it. So, it's like, I guess, Epic. And I'll explain why in a minute. Post-processing. This was a rough one. Because it affects stuff like the God rays and stuff. So if you want God rays from like the sun and the moon and stuff, then leave it at high. Otherwise, go to low. So low would be my recommendation if we're aiming for performance there. I know that's probably not like the favorite for everyone, but this is sort of geared for performance, but still keeping some of the visuals. And then DLSS, I would set to quality if you're on that 3070 Ti, which the 3070 Ti is the recommended specs for the game. So I would go for quality, upscaling. And then I would set a little bit of a sharpness. I would go to probably 10. 10 is my recommendation for 1440p, but your mileage may vary. And then variable rate shading doesn't have much of an effect. So if you can spare it, if you're not really struggling for performance, leave it off. And then this would be what I would do. If we're aiming for a mix of performance and visual fidelity. I am doing an updates video spets. I was just finishing up some of the testing, gathering some screenshots and stuff. So yeah, I am. Can you show the upper settings? I will after I do the lower ones. And also I'll have a video. I'll showcase it in the video. If we're on a lower end, like if we're on the lower end, we're trying to get as much performance as possible. But we still want to keep some things, right? But we're trying to get as much performance as possible. And we're like really struggling to hit a playable frame rate. Global illumination low. Also, I should wait. Hold on, wait. DLSS, let me set back to DLAA. Okay. So if we're trying to get to a max here, I would go global illumination low, shadow quality low, object quality. Again, I can't find much of a difference here. Maybe in more packed areas would help. But to avoid some pop-in being annoying, I would probably go to something like medium at least. Again, not much of an impact I could find. And I'll showcase that in the video. Texture resolution, I would really try to stay above medium because low can look very bad with the aggressive MIP bias. So, you know, for now you could stick to medium, but if you're really struggling with VRAM, low would be where you want to go. Effects quality, probably low. I mean, this, you know, you get some extra performance out of it, but I noticed that the colors can look off sometimes during storms, so if that annoys you, you may want to set that back up to medium. Reflections I would still keep at medium because it looks way better than the low quality reflections, and you don't really get much performance boost from low reflections, just because basically low reflections is just worse screen space reflections, and medium is also screen space reflections, but they look better than low. So I would go with medium still there. Foliage quality, low, there's a lot of pop in with foliage, so I would probably stick to something like medium here. And then if you could spare it, I would probably still stick to high, but medium gives you a little bit more than low, and it, you know, it's kind of where it is. For foliage quality, they really were trying to not make it affect your gameplay that much, so while you're flying around, I want you to see a shit ton of pop in, so that's why I'm gonna go for medium for foliage. And then shading quality, again, I can't really measure performance impact with this. If you want to set it to low, sure, but you know, set this to wherever you want, because according to the base scalability files that I had here, unless they like fixed it or like added some things to this, they have just a bunch of effects for the hair and the lighting of it, and then anisotropic materials, which is basically if materials look different from different angles. So like, you know how sometimes like brushed metal will reflect things differently or look like it's reflecting things differently. That's basically what this is, and that's only different between medium and high. So yeah, and then besides that, post-processing is already at low. Your upscaling is probably going to have to be, you know, whatever. And then if we're really struggling to get as much performance as possible, I would then go for variable rate shading at a max of balance, because performance can really start to hurt the image quality and make things a bit more flickery. But again, this is only an extra 2 to 3%. So, I mean, if you want to just go for max performance, you would hit performance here. But it does look kind of mid. But then this is what it would be for the lowest settings that I would go with, personally. Because there's not much scaling past that point. And then, of course, there's upscaling, but this is native 1440p for me. This is not upscaled. So... And then now for the high end, let me get back to the spot here. For the high end, what I would go with, and this is what I'm probably gonna rock. I kind of like Epic Global Illumination, but high global illumination, high shadow quality. Actually, does Epic really do that much of a difference? You could go with Epic if you're feeling a little greedy. I'll do that just to be a little greedy. Object quality Epic. Texture resolution high. You can go to Epic texture res if you'd like. There isn't that much of a difference though in quality, and it's a bit less aggressive in the streaming of textures. So effects quality, I would probably stick to high, because Epic, I don't know, actually Epic wasn't, where was the performance difference here? Was it from high to medium? There was one more performance gap here that I thought there was. From I don't have my notes open, or maybe it was medium to high here. Then again, it could depend, it could vary on the scene. But I'm gonna go for effects quality Epic here, ironically. Reflections quality, let me check that real quick before I finalize that. Okay, so less downscaling on the reflections. Okay. Translucent reflection. Okay. Screen space. It's still lumen, but it's screen space reflections there, it looks like. Okay. I think, why is there such a hype now around Gray Zone Warfare? It's a new update that's kind of big. Yeah, it's gonna have waves of hype. I've liked this game since launch, but you know, not a lot of people. Well, not a good chunk of people did, but it had its issues at launch, and then, of course, people kind of just wrote it off. But it's only gonna get better and better. I mean, this update, I would argue, is the first update that really adds like some life, you know, to the world. But anyway, sorry. Foliage quality. I mean, I would rock with Epic. I really like Epic foliage quality. It's got the max view distance possible for the foliage. And then shading quality, again, didn't see anything epic there. Post-processing, I would actually go to high because it adds some of the god rays from the moon and stuff that I really liked. And then for DLSS, I'm running DLAA. And then, of course, I didn't say this for any of the options, but of course, it's your choice if you want to run frame generation. You have to run FSR's frame generation if you know, aren't on a 40 or 50 series GPU. So of course that option is there too, right there. And also Nvidia Reflex latency, I'd recommend using. Yeah, okay. That's behaving as expected. Okay. I would use this just on because odds are that your GPU is already maxed out anyway. This update is a huge step in the direction of an identity for this game, but it still has a lot of work. I'm excited to fully sink my teeth into it for sure. Oh yeah, yeah. There's still a lot of work to go. But I mean, I'm really excited for it. I have a lot more hope than Tarkov, or than for Tarkov right now. And also, by the way, for this too, I would set variable rate shading to off if you're on a high-end PC, just because you can see like the power lines and stuff here. Just like, I mean, you can see it for yourself. I'm taking a screenshot of that actually. The 3 different ones there. 1 VRS off in game. 2 VRS off in game. Or sorry. See what I'm talking about? I get messed up. Quality and 3 VRS. Perf. I didn't do balanced. I probably should do balanced. Hold on. 4 VRS performance. Ooh. 4 VRS performance.
Take a screenshot of these nuts.
Hold on. This is a mod, by the way. This is one of my friends.
I'm in Crimson, twin. Come kill some militia with me, twin.
I'm a Crimson PMC now, twin. Jesus. Are you gonna be playing later? He broke his legs. The community is so much better than Tarkov. It is, dude.
Help me! Help!
I just broke my legs, twin. Come heal with me, twin. But yeah, the community is so much better. The community is so much better. It's actually kind of crazy. How much better it is. I don't know why. But it is. And it's kind of insane, frankly. There we go. Ooh. 3 VRS. Ooh. 3 VRS balance in game. Okay. Yep. Okay. Fantastic. Now I do have the different upscaling solutions, which I could do like quality comparisons on, but I think most people will get that just by like an in-game representation. Jeff Bezos said he wouldn't pay for both of my snap femurs. You're not on the insurance plan, bro. You're not employed. You're not employed by Twitch. You quit your streaming career and now this is the price. No health insurance. But, yeah, I really like the community, in this game. I think there's a really bright future for this, honestly. Okay. We got all those things. Is there anything else? Can you guys think of anything that you would like to see me cover besides what I just discussed? Now I'm going to cover upscaling. I'll talk about reflex briefly, all that, you know, my recommendations for that. That should be pretty straightforward. You know, I've talked about that in Tarkov for a long time. We don't really need comparison screenshots. Also, the quality of that's going to depend on some of the other settings you're rocking, so it's not going to look the same for everybody, and the resolution you're rocking, so, you know, I'll explain all of that. Test CPU bound performance. Can I get there? Hold on, wait, can I get there? Now you got me intrigued. You know what time it is, bro. Come on. Yeah! Ultra performance, baby. Low. Variable rate shading performance. Oh, wait! I'm getting there! Hold on. Do I have anything else? Do I have anything else? I don't think I have anything else. No. But I'm kind of there. Guys, look at that performance difference. I mean, y'all, this is the way to play. Do I have a gun with a light on it? Hold on, let me get a gun with a light on it. Oh, this has a light on it. Oh, yeah. This looks like those, like, indie PS1 horror games. I think this is Heat. Anja Gamer. This is fire. This is the way it's meant to be played. Oh my god. Kinda low-key Heat? It's an aesthetic. The game is so responsive, though. This is crazy. I feel like I could, like, quick peek people. The Tarkov running peek. Oh my god. Now, obviously, I would not recommend playing like that. Is that... I don't... Does the moon look... The moon doesn't look like that when it's covered by clouds. I think... Yeah, that's part of the lore. I think that that's some sort of, alien weapon. Anomaly of some kind. There's, yeah. Either that or it's a black hole. Not sure. Maybe a Star Citizen crossover. We'll find out. Who knows? You know, might see Port Olisar kind of like flying overhead at some point. I'm not sure. But this, hold on, wait. This is CPU bound though. I mean, technically this is CPU bound. Wow. This is the limit for a 7000X 3D. Not like you're hitting this point. Give me off this. Oh. Just put on my glasses. I think some of it is having the base there is a natural push to help others. Yeah, and faction comrades should help drive the want to assist as well. Yeah, and I really like the, oh my goodness, there's a lot of people. Whoa. But I really like the these cops, like the dynamic of like capturing these to help with your quest, to respawn quicker, get back in the fight. I think is really gonna help. They need to add more to them, in my opinion, and I heard like Gigabeef was talking about this too. You know, I think there needs to be some extra little bit to them besides just the trader that they were adding. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy these. Like, I really like sneaking into them and like assassinating the like guys who are holding the base, and I'm like oh shit, there's an enemy in our base, and they'll like run over, and it's so cool. It's so cool. I really like it. I've never played as Crimson before, so this is gonna be pretty fun. This is also, I've never seen this before here. There's so much, there's over, I think there's over 60 new like places of interest across the map. Like, what's this? I've been here, I think it's a poppy field again. Like, what's this? It's like every time I zoom in the map, I'm like, there's a new building. I'm like, what is that? Can we take this road and just leave? Thoughts on this? But I think that'll do it. There is some other, let me set this back up to how I liked it before. There are some other things like outside of the game that I'll want to cover. Because there was some things that the devs were suggesting that I want to note. There was some what am I saying? Yeah, things outside the game. Ironically, Wild, you might be getting a little bit of flashback when I say this. Some paging file shenanigans, which is quite interesting. I didn't think that knowledge was going to cross over, but here we are. So you know, there's probably going to be a couple videos posted by me as we get going, but I really want to get this settings guide out as soon as possible. And then I will be probably streaming Gray Zone every day, at least during the exclusive drops period, to, you know, get you guys some of those drops, with the supportive streamer stuff as well, with the subs and stuff. I will be here, and I'll post the schedule whenever I can get this first video done. Page file, that's for poor people. No, just get another SSD and put the page file on that, bro. Yeah, I just want to get this settings guide, so I'm not going to post the schedule until I get this done, just in case it takes me a little bit longer than I expect it to take me. I think I have a pretty good base here, pretty good understanding, that way more than I did the first time around. And hopefully with some of the stuff I've learned, this will be a pretty good video, pretty informative. Of course, it's going to be my El Clasico, my classic Clementine video. That's probably going to be like half an hour long of me yapping. But I will have timestamps. I want to just try to explain some of these settings the best that I can, because I think that's important for you guys when you're trying to choose what's best for your system in particular. You guys know how I do these things. And then of course, I think at the end of the video, I'll have some of my just recommended like sort of presets at the end, based on like what tier of hardware roughly. But again, you know, that sometimes isn't always accurate, because sometimes people think they have a lower tier hardware than they actually do, or vice versa. So, you know, I'll have those at the end of the video, but of course I'll preface it with, you know, put it with a grain of salt. You know, it's going to be a bit more specific to what hardware you have. Does it still have the same CPU issues? If you're talking about your CPU running at 100%, that's just the shader compilation. Just let the shaders compile when you first get into the game. For me, it took like a couple minutes, and then I was set. So, besides that, no. Besides shader compilation, no. Pretty smooth sailing, for me at least. But yeah, I think that'll be it for now. If you guys have anything you want to see me talk about, if you have anything you want me to note in the settings guide, if you hear of any bugs, especially today, while I'm like making the settings guide, ping me in my Discord, or you know, wherever you can reach me, because I want to make sure if there's any immediate concerns that I make sure I post them in the guide, so that people have an idea. I haven't heard of any major issues with like game breaking, like flickering or stuff, besides with some of the like really low tier settings, like low shadows or low GI, and they're working on that. I know they're already aware of that, so yeah. Besides that, I'm gonna get to it and not waste any more time, so I hopefully don't have to stay up till like midnight tonight. Preferably I don't want to do that. Thank you again for your support. I wouldn't be able to have the access to the the early preview or anything like that without you guys being here. So again, as always, I really support it. You always have the best. Thank you, man. I try my best, that's for damn sure. You don't make a video in 2 hours. Wild. You know how I work. You know how I work. I'll make a recording. This is how it typically goes. I'll make a recording and I'll be like, oh no, that shit sucked. I'll do another recording. I'll be like, okay, that one works. And then I'll take that in the editing. I spend probably like 4 hours editing, I would argue. Cause again, I'll be like a fucking, I'll be a perfectionist. Even though I don't have much editing in my videos, I'll still like, and then I'll like edit the audio down sometimes where I think it's too harsh, just stupid shit like that. And then I'll go to render the video, and the rendering takes 13 billion years, right? Especially for the long videos, it'll take like an hour and a half, and then it's done. I'm like, oh, whew, okay. Let me go check it, because I also do a dual render pass on it to try to get the best quality I can. And then I'll come back and be like, all right, let me watch the video. And there's one small fucking mistake in the video. And then my stupid pride won't let me just post it and then add like a little thing at the bottom of the thing, like a correction. I'm like, nope. All right, I gotta fix that. And then I'll go fix that, and then I'll render it again. And then after all that, I'll be like, all right, I need a thumbnail. And I'll spend like 2 or 3 hours just like working on a thumbnail because I want it to be just right. Like I want it to just be right. Especially now where I'm actually starting to get relatively decent at making thumbnails. And so now I'm like, I'll spend like a bunch of time just like perfecting the thumbnail. And I'm like, okay, I think this will work. And then I'll post it. After all that, and then, well, before I post it, I gotta add all the timestamps in the description and stuff. And then I post it. And then I fall asleep. But yeah, I'm gonna try to stream as much as I can for the drops. And what do I think of the update so far? From what I played in the early preview, I love it. I think it's really fun. It adds a new dynamic to the game. It makes it really interesting. It's not full, it's not Tarkov level depth yet. Obviously. Tarkov has had a decade in the oven at this point. Or near a decade in the oven at this point. But I think they have a really solid foundation to build on. I'm really excited, honestly, to see where they go with everything. I might actually run Epic GI because it's a bit less flickering. Anyway, I'll talk about that in the video. But yeah, I can see myself. I'll definitely be playing this throughout the drops period at a minimum. I'm way more invested in this, I think, right now than Tarkov. You know, if Tarkov showcases something, obviously I'll be around. I'll make my guides for it. You know me, I'll do the drill. But you expect to see me around a bit more. I'm gonna be basically where you see other Tarkov creators, you'll probably see me. Especially if there's performance issues, you'll see me. So if you're interested in those sort of genres of games, I'm gonna be trying my best on those and learning a lot more along the way. So also I went Crimson this time, which I know is kind of crazy. I know that's kind of insane, but I've never went Crimson. I was LRI in the first update, like 0.1. I was Mithras in 0.2. And now I wanna try Crimson. So yeah, we'll see. I've never been Crimson before. So now you're LRI. I've wanted to do LRI. Like LRI is my OG. But I was like, you know what? I'll try something new. Let's do something new. Let's stay different. In worst case, I can always wipe my account and switch to a different faction. I don't mind. I don't mind doing that. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get to work on that settings guide basically the second I shut off the stream. I'll probably grab lunch first. Yeah, Crimson's crap. Like, I don't like the LRI's morals. I like a lot more, even though they're by rich people. But I just want to switch it up. So, I will be streaming, and I'll post like a schedule when I'm streaming as soon as I can get this settings guide done, again, my goal is to get it done today. I'm going to try really hard and be locked in to try to get this done as soon as possible for you guys, and hopefully explain a lot of the stuff. And I hope that Crazone notices, hopefully. I'm gonna try really hard. I'm gonna try really hard, and I think I got this. I think I got this. And there's gonna be some other videos too past that with some other stuff. So, of course, Wadsy, it's great. I learned so much. Like, especially this time around, I've learned so much from when I started, like looking at all the Unreal Engine 5 stuff. It's been really cool. Just to see like a lot of the difference and stuff, but yeah, again, keep me posted if you hear anything about like any performance issues or bugs or whatever. Ping me in my Discord, you know, what have you. I'll take a look, I'll let you know, or maybe I'll even put in the video if it's sometime today. Yeah, again, thanks for being here, y'all. I appreciate all you. Thank you for being here. I wouldn't be able to do all this stuff without y'all, and I'll see y'all as soon as I'm done making this settings video. So for now, peace.